Head over to greenmangaming.com for a 20% discount on all games when you use the code DOUBLEORNOTHING20.
Hello everybody and welcome. This is Don Dan. Today I'm going to do my very first review. This time it's going to be about Assetto Corsa for the PC. Now in the background you're going to be seeing little bits of racing snippets from my adventures, should we say. Different cars, different tracks, different series, different types of cars. But now more on to what this review is all about. As you see, there's 10 criterias ranging from career, multiplayer, physics, cost, game modes, presentation, usability, graphics, and the overall fun factor of the game. These have different aspects and ones I'm going to be delving into as this review goes on. First of all, the multiplayer. Multiplayer mode in this game has got some work it needs to be done to it. There needs to be said that the booking system hasn't quite worked properly. There needs to be some work on making time waiting shorter, maybe making it so that you can join as and when as needed, and to having a structured personalisation to depending on the championship of it. As well as this, there's a lot of netcode issues when you're actually driving the game. I've noticed this has been quite a problem. However, there are some positives, there are lots of lobbies, and there's lots of championships which are going on as well. I mean, you want more championships in these games, because if you don't, then you know that you're going to get a bit bored. And you don't really want to be bored in these games, especially when there's a lot more to offer than just racing, racing and racing. Now, as well as this, there's also the career mode, which has lots of choices on offer. There's lots of different championships, each one with its own separate area, and all have a nice introduction to each series with a video, which I find is really nice. Adds a lot of variation to it, adds a lot of in-depth analysis to it as well, which is really helpful. However, it would be nice having more structure. It's not very immersive as a series. You want a gameplay which is nice and immersive, and sadly, the career mode is not that immersive, and the difficulty level as well I find is just too easy with it. Now, difficulty can be implemented easily, I think, and they are trying to work on the AI difficulty, that sort of aspect, which is why this game is working so well as a development. Now, as well as this, we have usability. Usability is an important aspect of the game. Below are just some screenshots of the usability section. Settings are really easy to change. You can change them dependent on your needs, especially controls and everything. Lots of different aspects to that, which I find are really helpful. The layout for most part is really simple as well. It's clearly signposted as where you need to go for what you want to see. And each option in game that I really like, you can have a mode which will allow you to see different imports in the game, such as a HUD style, and you can change this on and off depending on what you want. Now, although this is all good, some of the menus feel a little bit clunky. They don't feel 100%, and so that's always somewhere to them to work on. And I think that some settings can be a little bit difficult to understand, especially in the visuals. So let's see where that leads us. Now, as well as this, the presentation. It's simple, it's easy to use and easy to understand. That's the main benefit to the presentation. I personally find it a really nice presentation of a game. There are games which are really overcomplicated in its style. Here, the main menu is just three big options. One for the career, one for the main mode, and one for challenges, which is nice. It's really nice and simple, and I find it extremely useful. However, they do look a little bit outdated, it's easy to say. It's not as clean and crisp as something like Project Cars. There needs to be a little bit more immersion in that sort of sense. But apart from that, I find the presentation really nice. I don't have any issues with it. Some gamers I know do, but apart from that, I find it extremely helpful. Now, next up are the game modes. Game modes in Assetto Corsa vary. You know, you've got challenges, you've got time attacks, you have just practices, race weekends, quick races, and of course your online multiplayer. The challenges, you have a lot of challenges to try. There's a great mixture between races. In there, you've got drag, drift, all sorts of different races in there. Time attacks. I personally find it one of the best things about this game. However, the main menu, in terms of weekend mode, needs some work, I think. It's not 100% done. Flags and rules aren't 100% implemented, and pit stops, I think, could do with some work as well. It would make a much more immersive gameplay, especially in terms of different game modes, and I think it's one area that they need to look at. It's one area I think they could do better, but on the most part, I find it fun. I don't find it a problem. Now, the cost of the game is £35, which I personally think is worth it. Obviously, you have the add-on DLC, the Dream Pack #1, and there will be another Dream Pack, I reckon, coming out very soon. Kunos have said that there's going to be a bonus car pack for the users who have already got the game, so that's going to be a great addition for anyone who's got the game. I would say it's definitely a positive, the cost. It's not as expensive as an Xbox game, and it's certainly double the fun. So I would definitely say yes to that. Now, the graphics of the game. As you see, they're extremely detailed, they are extremely realistic and created to such a high quality. I mean, I'm even running it on medium settings and it looks absolutely fantastic. The post-processing effects are extremely cool. They add a huge amount to the game, and it's something that I use very frequently. They've got a lot of settings, each one with its own different benefits, and really cool. I would definitely go for it. Now, in terms of the sound side, it's a very resource heavy game. I struggle very much with the graphics side of things, but that's just me. I think that's something that everyone should take into consideration with their own gameplays. Now, in terms of the realism of the game, there's a lot of benefits to it. They have a flag system, which is something that not all games have at the minute. Flag system works quite well for the most part. However, there are issues with the flags. The penalties aren't exactly perfect. They need to add more of them in. You can't do any rain driving or nighttime driving, which to me is one of the biggest downsides to the realism of this game. It's not 100% real, and I think that's something they should be trying to implement, both of them two things. However, the physics change when you have different track conditions are noticeable. That's something that I find absolutely brilliant about the game, something I can't knock at all. Physics of the game. Physics is a big part of any racing game. Any game in general, really. You need really good physics to make the game extremely worthwhile. And for the most part, Assetto Corsa's physics are extremely good. Cars feel alive, they feel positive to drive, they feel different on different surfaces, and that is down to the fact that these tracks are laser scanned. Laser scanning has provided a huge benefit to all the tracks, especially the detailed and fantastic Green Hell track, which I've never ever experienced quite like it. So that is definitely one big positive. However, the inconsistency to some cars still needs some work on. Some of the Lotuses feel very, very swashbuckly. I think they need a little bit of work, but apart from that, the physics as a whole have been absolutely fantastic in this game. Cannot knock them. Now, fun factor is a huge thing when it comes to racing games. You need a very fun game to keep you interested, and Assetto Corsa has a few different modes which will keep you interactive and keep you fun with the game. One of which is this mode here, which is the drag mode in the challenges. They give you lots of fun. As well as this, the AI have fun and interesting races. You do see them do some weird things, which I find is quite funny. However, for the most part, the career mode is not really in depth to give you an immersive experience, which reduces some of the fun. And for those who look for an arcade experience, Assetto Corsa really isn't for you. It's more for the serious racing. The fun aspect is not one of the main experiences of racing in this game. It's more serious, down to it, boom, that's it. Assetto Corsa, that's for you. So then, overall, Assetto Corsa. A really great game, lots of 8s, 9s and 10s on my out of 10 scale for each one, giving it a total score out of 100. I personally feel the game has come a long way since it's first been redeveloped. However, there is still a long way to come, more cars, tracks, more immersive experience I think is still to come, and with the community that's bubbling quite as much as Assetto Corsa, Kunos will definitely have their chances to really build on this game and make it something truly fantastic. At the moment, it's still in the progresses, it's still working out, but overall I think it's been a really fantastic experience and a really great gameplay as that. And so for that, I'm going to be giving Assetto Corsa a grand score of 72 out of 100 at the minute. I'll come back to this game later and I'll probably give it another rescore, but for the minute, 72 is where it's at. It's extremely high up in the scale. I personally have enjoyed every single race I've driven with it, and I hope this is going to give you the opportunities and reason to try it out even more. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this little review. I'm going to be making many more of these, and hopefully this is the first of a series for these. So remember, if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Remember to check us out, subscribe to us, check out our website, all that good stuff. This is John Dan. Peace out.